I started to touch on this from the questions. The Alternative Water Resources Management Plan, as it relates to solving the chloride issue, is also a non-starter because it is another one of those incremental fixes to an incredibly larger problem. I believe that when you go and fix incremental problems, you tend to put off the fixing of much larger problems. And there's no better example of this than in regards to the water that comes to us here from the State Water Project. As was pointed out in the presentation today, and I'm glad to have my numbers vilified, that is the 80 milligrams per liter of salts, specifically chloride, that comes to us from the water we see from the State Water Project. That is but one of the myriad of aspects of that water that is unpalatable and needs to be addressed. I have been studying up on water issues for about 3.5 years specifically, but I've been involved with regards to activism on many issues for over a decade. Nothing has stunned me more than the waking up one day with the realization that I was allergic to the water I drink. It's truly a revolutionary idea, and it's grown on me now, so it doesn't amaze me as much as it does. But when I mentioned to people outside of the Santa Clarita Valley about the chloramines issue and how chloramines build up in your system because they don't dissipate like chlorine does on its own, and how some people are unable to tolerate the buildup of those chloramines and end up having severe allergic reactions to the chloramines, they're baffled. How can you possibly serve a water to residents that could potentially kill somebody? And now there's no idea, we have no idea how many people are affected by this. I know myself and 2 others specifically, but I've also heard tales of many other people who have, like I started out, allergies for which they have no explanation. And I got to tell you, what I had to do to find out that this was water was not an easy task. I gave up milk products, I gave up gluten, I went gluten-free, I gave up wheat, but eventually led to bathing in spring water to find out that indeed the only thing that caused me to have an allergic reaction was ingesting our water. And I wasn't ingesting the water straight, I was using the same filtration system that most of you do, the ones that are built into our refrigerators. It took me a while to realize how allergic I was because a small amount is taken out with reverse osmosis. And when we moved from one place to the other, we decided, oh no, we'll just use the filtration that's in our new refrigerator. Well, that doesn't take out any of the chloramines. And as soon as we moved in, and that was one of the things I was thinking, is it the air conditioning system? As soon as we moved in, I started having these massive reactions, whereas before I would just get a little bit of hives, a little bit of swelling going on. As soon as I moved into our new house, I started breaking out. I ended up having to slam an EpiPen 3 times. And don't tell my doctors this, please, because I don't go into the emergency room. I've slammed so many EpiPens in the last 5 years that I literally stopped going to the emergency room because I'm fine the next morning. But the fact of the matter is that this is a health risk. I've taken risks with my own health. Now that I know that I'm allergic to chloramines, I can avoid them. It means I don't drink water in restaurants. I limit my showers to about 2 minutes. Eventually we're going to have a whole house water filtration system when I can afford one. Those are about $3 grand. But this shows a much bigger problem. Not only do we have chlorides that are coming to us that we have to pay millions of dollars to get rid of, but our water comes with a type of biological element in it, a level of biological element that literally has to be treated with a noxious chemical. This is simply unacceptable in this day and age that we are transporting water from the Delta in 19th century technology in a 21st century when we can easily put all of that infrastructure underground, protect it from terrorist attacks, and the eventual earthquake that seismologists say that region is long overdue for. So rather than fixing this little chloride issue over here for a couple of $1 million or $1 billion, whatever it ends up being, can't really get a straight answer on the long term what that's going to be, we need to be investing our time, our energy, our lobbying, if you want to use the word again, but everything that we have to work with the other communities around California to replace our broken system in the Delta so that we can ensure that our future generations have access to quality, reliable water here in California.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, so I don't forget at the end, thank you for doing this. Thank you folks for